What is good, everybody? What is good? Seems like overnight, man, the leaves start changing, huh? It's crazy. For me anyway, it seems that way. So this New England weather, some other places as I record just to get hurricanes and all kind of stuff. So crazy. So let me jump into this here. So I wanna offer a little bit of words of encouragement, man. I want to offer a little bit of words of encouragement. I've been talking to a couple of young men last few days, and just dealing with them and understanding the world that they are living in now, right? Understanding the world that they are living in now, the challenges that are coming from being a young man, the challenges that are coming from the dating scene, the challenges that are coming from being in the work scene, and how much everything has changed, how much everything is so different, and how people and how they are dealing with the changes. Well, they don't even recognize them being as changes, but just the difficulty adapting to the current present situation. This has been documented. Other generations, particularly of men, have always done better than their fathers or their parents. This is a generation now that's coming up that is not doing as well and not projected to be doing as well, particularly, or at least until later on in life. The average age before being a first home buyer was something like 27, 28. Now, average first time age of home buyers is 47. Um, and that is a sad statistic. That is a terrible, that is something that, we got to look at the government for. And, I don't want to go off on a political tangent here, but if you can look at your current environment, the cost of living, current geopolitical situation, what's going on with the different potential conflicts that are going on. If you can look at that and say, I want 4 more years of that, we're going to look around and say, one day we're going to look around and say, these are the two best candidates. History is not going to be kind. I don't think history is going to be kind to this. These are the two best options mentally, psychologically, that we had to vote for 2024. That's all I'll say about that. The other thing that I want to the other thing that I want to say is that you gotta fight hard to stave off depression. Fight hard to find your place. Fight hard to find a way to cope with the current situation. And it's not going to be easy. It's not simple. It's not just as easy as just try hard. It's not just as easy as telling people to do better, try harder, go out, get a job, go out and do this, go out and do that, because the jobs aren't there. As I record this, right, there's a whole strike. There's a whole strike going on about the dock workers down in the I'm pretty sure it's the DMV area. I haven't really looked into it. I know there's a strike going on with the dock workers. But everybody's complaining. Everybody's complaining because the economics are not economicing, right? The math ain't mathing. The promises that are told, right? We're looking at times when these different stocks and Dow Jones and all these different markers and indicators are telling us the market is up, and I have a small little money in the stock market, and I was checking the other day, and stocks are steadily on the rise. But that's for corporate business type of stuff. That has nothing to do with your bottom line, how much you pay when you go to the grocery store, how much a new laptop costs, all this stuff, these different real markers about real everyday life. And it's almost like it's a game. It's a game. These people, they're reporting all this stuff, but you and I aren't seeing it. And of course the dock workers aren't seeing it, school teachers aren't seeing it, right? Everybody's not seeing it. Even I sometimes like looking at my I get paid to teach at these schools. It's like, you need to raise these prices here, right? We know how much tuition costs, but I digress. So this is what the young men are dealing with, right? So when they become economically unviable, right, to pay for dates, to buy a house, pay off student loans, whatever's going on. They really are just in a bad place mentally. It puts them in a bad place mentally. So we all need this encouragement. So I want you to fight hard to stave off, to fight off depression, because I can see it sneaking in, creeping in, right? They don't have any job prospects. Their job prospects are minimal. They're not going to get paid as much, right? They're being overlooked for all these different markers. And the young men that I was talking to were under the age of 30. But I really had to encourage them and say, listen, man, a man doesn't really hit his stride till you're 35 years old, right? That's when you hit your stride, start really making some good money. Some would even say 40. Between 35 and 40, you start moving up economically. I talked about the time. I talked about my own personal experience, right? I became a police officer, which is an economically stable job at 22, and I was already married. Had I not been married, though, I didn't really start getting promoted and all this kind of stuff till I was like 30 years old. And I got my second promotion at 34, 35, 36, somewhere around there. That's when you start making some good money, right? Start hitting your real stride. So listen, if you're out there in the workforce and things aren't going your way, just keep at it, keep going. And if you're trying to build a business, and the young men I'm talking to are trying to build businesses, right? And they're having a hard time attracting new clients to their roster, right? And I got to encourage them. Listen, you got to keep going. You got to keep fighting. You got to keep putting your product out there. You got to keep doing this. You got to keep doing it, because you got to build a reputation. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen immediately. Not going to happen overnight. Not going to happen immediately. I gotta watch the lotion, right? Just like talking about stuff. All the lotion. You gotta watch all that, right? So you gotta watch that, and you just gotta stay on your game and on your grind. In the meantime, here's what I want you to do. If you're a young man, right, and this goes for anyone too, but you're a young man, you got stuff going on, you got dreams, hopes, you got to keep going, you got to stay focused on those dreams, hopes, and visions. You are going to suffer setbacks. You are going to suffer setbacks. A friend of mine and I were having a conversation the other day, and we were both saying, listen, sometimes you got to fail your way to success. You got to fail your way to success. That means you go up a little bit and you're going to hit a stumbling block. You're going to make a mistake. You're going to make some progression. You're going to gain some momentum. And then next thing you know, you're gonna hit a stride, and then you're gonna go backwards a little bit. It's par for the course. In other words, it's golf speak for it's how the game goes. It's in all that. Sometimes the par, PAR, is four hits, but you hit it in 5 and 6, and sometimes you hit it at 3. So it's just the way that it goes. It's the way the ball bounces, all that kind of stuff. So it's part of it. But you got to stay motivated. You got to stay on your game. You got to stay on your grind, right? So one of the biggest things you got to do is you cannot quit. There's a poem I talked about before about when life gets you down and it is with your hardest hit that you must not quit. I don't remember the whole exact poem, but it is something I actually read from time to time to encourage me, because it's important and it's essential to stay motivated, right? Another thing you have to do is that I really want you to work on the things that you can work on. I want you to work on the things you can work on. That's diet and exercise. Those things really do help with the brain chemistry and all that. So when you look better, because your diet, because you're exercising, you're going to feel better. So we're talking about staving off depression. So you got to look better. I want you to look better. I want you to, and by looking better, I want you to eat better. I want you to walk, exercise, lift weights, do some push-ups. Even if you don't have weights, maybe you can't afford a gym membership, but at least do some body weight exercises. There's plenty of videos on YouTube, plenty of videos I see on IG about 30 quick 200 set or 300 set whatever. Do some push-ups, immediately stand up, do some air squats, get into some burpees. You do these type of routines back to back, 4, 5, 6 rounds, right? All that kind of stuff, right? You look better, you feel better. It gets the brain chemistry going, gets the endorphins going, gets the blood flowing, everything's flowing and moving. These are things you can do to stave off that. You got to get off the couch, and all this is part of getting off the couch, right? Go outside, go for a walk. Go outside, go for a run. Go outside and meet people. Go to the park, right? You got to stave off in a natural, holistic way, stave off depression from the current environment that you're living in. So it's really, really important and essential that you get out the house and you actually get this stuff done. So I really want you to work on those types of things, and I really want you to work on being the best that you can be. Another big thing that I really want you to understand is that these young men called me, right? They call a mentor, call a friend, call a pastor, call somebody who you trust, who you can talk to. It's really important because the body, the mind will try to retreat into, because you're looking at the world and you're saying, man, everybody's doing so much better than myself. I want to retreat into my house, into my castle, into myself, and not talk about it and all this type of stuff. That is the wrong thing to do. It is the wrong thing to do. Call somebody, have a conversation with somebody, confide in somebody. Listen, I'm struggling. I'm having a hard time. Things are tough. I'm not making it. What can I do? And that person should be able to tell you some of the things I'm telling you today. It's just keep going. Things get tough, things get hard, things get down. You may have to borrow money. You may have to cut back. You may have to skip a meal because you can't afford. Listen, I get it, man. Times are tough, times are hard, times are difficult. But that doesn't mean that you should allow yourself to become a victim in your mentality and your thinking, or to become a victim in the circumstances that we're all dealing with, or that the world is seeing on a day, or that we're all seeing on a day-to-day basis. So don't become a victim. Eat right, exercise, talk to your friends, your confidants, a mentor, talk to somebody, right? And it's always good to make those types of connections, because it's times when you're down, particularly if you're doing well. This is one thing that was really stressed. When you're doing well, when things are up and you make these connections, people will be more inclined to help you when you are down, because they know your character, they know your potential, they know what you can do, they know the quality of work, they know what type of person you are. And so they're like, okay, you're going through a tough time, tough circumstances. Let me help you out. Let me give you a little dot. Let me give you a few dollars. Let me let you move in. Let me loan you a car. Let me give you some gas money. Do little things. Maybe that moving in part is a little too much, right? You don't want people living with you and all that. But if you're a good person, they'd rather see you move back in, or move in, or put you up in a hotel or something like that, rather than see you out on the street. But that all depends on your character that you display on a day-to-day basis. So again, eat right, exercise, talk to people, let it out. It's okay. You're not the only one who's dealing with, struggling with, or going through all these different circumstances. All young men across the country. There are many books being written about this, many talks, many lectures, many things on YouTube about this. Forget about the dating scene. There's a lot of things that are going on here with the amount of women who are leveling up and seeming to be passing men by. There's a lot of jobs that have been closing, a lot of opportunities that have been going by, a lot of things that they said that they were going to give us that they haven't given us. Where is this infrastructure bills and all this type of stuff to really boost our economy and to take us into a different direction? So listen, small businesses are struggling. If you ask one of the candidates, or she'll start telling you about her time. I don't want to get on there. It's just ridiculous. So anyway, listen, I want you all to continue to fight the good fight. You have to continue to put yourself. You have to continue to do positive self-talk, to really try to encourage yourself, and don't allow yourself to retreat and to sit in a dark house playing video games. That is the wrong thing. Particularly if you're eating potato chips, ice cream, getting fat, not working your heart. All that stuff is the recipe for building and adding to the depression. Then you look at yourself in the mirror and be like, oh my God, not only do I not have the economic viability that I wanted to have, but I'm also in a place where I can't do whatever, right? Also, I'm in a place where I'm getting, looking unattractive. So it's not going to be. I'm not. You watch these videos. They're not easy. They're not easy. It's not easy to overcome these things. It's not easy to make strides and to make moves. But what is easier, I should say, is just to reach out. People are just a phone call away, a video conference away, a drive away, a walk away, to getting some encouragement, to listening to somebody who can tell them, how to go about things, how to change things, how they suffered, how they struggled, and how they made it. It's not going to last always. We used to sing that in the church. There was a song we used to sing in the church. Trouble won't last always, and these things, this storm will pass. All these different types of things that would happen, and they're true. And they are true. I can tell you, 51-year-old man, I can tell you these things, these troubles, these times, these problems, these issues will not last always. But you have to keep going. You have to keep struggling. You have to keep fighting. You have to keep your nose to the grind. You have to keep going, right? I had to tell the young man, right? I know you're trying to build a business. I know you're trying to build a business, and you're not getting the clientele, but you got to keep putting your stuff out there. You got to keep putting your resume out there, and one day you'll get it. One day you'll get it, and then it'll start steamrolling. So believe me, trust me. You have to keep putting the product out there. Keep putting your best foot forward. Keep a positive attitude. Eat right. Exercise. Keep going. Keep striving. Keep pushing. Keep going, keep striving, and keep pushing. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, much love and peace, and keep encouraging your fellow man. Keep encouraging your fellow man.